Hey everybody, welcome back to my channel. My name is Jack and this is the 12th practice in your 20-day yoga challenge. So today's practice is kind of unique in regards to my usual vinyasa offering. And it's a practice that just kind of gets right to the point. We don't do a lot of sun salutations, but we do move through poses that help us primarily open the chest, the quads, the hip flexors. So we will emphasize back bends in this practice. Near the end of the practice, we'll get a little bit more into some folds and twists and hip openers. But this is a practice for those of you that perhaps are waking up super early or going to bed super late, that don't want to just, get your ass handed to you, but you still want to experience depth. So I'll see you on the mat in a few moments. So once you find yourself on your mat, go ahead and find a cross-legged pose or any seated pose that feels good for you. Sit up nice and tall. So we're just going to begin to establish some breath to help us mentally, emotionally, physically drop into this time here on the mat and let it be sacred time, sacred space. So take an inhale into the belly. And open mouth, exhale, release. Deep inhale. And open mouth, exhale, release. One more inhale. And open mouth, exhale, release. Bring your hands to meet at heart center. So the intention of today's practice is just to become highly intuitive with how the physical body, the mental, emotional bodies are totally interwoven. And the work that we do here on the mat might seem overtly physical, but it is also touching on all sides of our consciousness, all aspects of ourself. Nice. From here, inhale, open the eyes, reach the hands above the head towards the sky. Exhale, cactus the arms and open the chest. Now take an inhale, broaden your elbows back, lift the chest. Exhale, make fists and squeeze your forearms together in front of your face. Inhale, open up wide. And exhale, close the arms. 2 more times, inhale, really lift the chest. And then exhale, round the spine and squeeze the forearms together. Good. Inhale, reach the arms out wide. Say, Jack, I'm flying. And then go ahead and take your right hand down. Reach the left arm by the ear for a big side bend. Nice. Now from here, go ahead and face the palm behind you, the left palm away from you. Bend the left elbow and bring the left palm open on the back. Now as you peel the left shoulder open, make sure your right shoulder stays back as well and let your right ear fall towards your right shoulder. And just gently rock your head back and forth, explore stretching and opening that area. Good, bring your head back up. Inhale, reach the hands high to the sky. Exhale, step the left hand off to the left, reach the right arm by the ear. Good, now face the right palm away from you, bend the elbow, bring the right palm open on the back, and let your left ear hang towards your left shoulder, and just gently rock the head back and forth or turn the chin down. Good, bring your head all the way back up. Inhale, reach the hands above the head. Exhale, bring the hands down through heart center. Let's come forward into a tabletop pose now. Shoulders over the wrists, hips are over your knees. Inhale, reach the right hand high to the sky. Now pause here. Go ahead and really broaden the arms. And then exhale, thread your right arm all the way through. Let the shoulder and the side of the head rest down. Now you can curl the left hand forward and bring the palm open on the back, or you can bend the elbow and walk the hand forward. Whatever works best. Good, give it 2 more deep breaths. And then plant the left hand down, press yourself back up, tabletop pose. Inhale, cow pose, reach the heart forward. Exhale, cat pose, round the back. Inhaling cow, and exhale, flat neutral spine. Inhale, reach the left hand high to the sky. Pause here, broaden the span of the arms. And then exhale, thread your left arm all the way through. The shoulder and the side of the head come down. You can crawl the right hand forward and bend the elbow up towards the sky, or you can bring the right palm open on the back. But breathe. Good, place your right hand back down to the mat. Press yourself back up into a tabletop pose. Now tuck your toes, press back, downward facing dog. As you pedal your heels out a little bit here, just notice how it feels to take this space to arrive in your body in a more overt way. Good, inhale, come forward into a plank pose. Pause here, wake up your legs, press through the finger pads and the knuckles, engage your belly. Inhale, hinge forward onto your tippy toes. Exhale, lower all the way down to the belly. Now press the tops of the feet down. Inhale, cobra pose. Step the hands back a little bit. Squeeze the shoulder blades together. Feel that your hands are trying to drag back to reach the chest forward. Nice. On your exhale, just press up to tabletop. Tuck the toes and press back, downward facing dog. Inhale, reach the right leg high. Exhale, step the right foot to the outside of the right hand. Bring your left knee down. Good. Come up onto your fingertips. Inhale, lift and broaden the chest. Now bend your left knee. Squeeze your heel towards your butt. Ground the left hand down. Take right hand to the pinky toe side of your left foot. As you pull the heel towards the butt, kick the foot simultaneously away and lift and broaden the chest. Nice. On your exhale, take the right hand down and literally just step back, downward facing dog. Inhale, reach the left leg high. Exhale, step the left foot to the outside of the left hand. Bring the right knee down. Come up onto your fingertips, lift and broaden the shoulders. Now bend your right knee, squeeze your heel towards your butt. Step the right hand off to the right a little bit and reach your left hand to the pinky toe side of the foot. So notice if you are creating that kind of backwards tilt in your pelvis and lengthening the lumbar spine, the lower back, so that you can really isolate this into the quads and then create some tension between your foot and your hand. See, I said I wouldn't talk about alignment, but here I am. Here we are. Good, take your left hand down, step back, downward facing dog. Let's inhale, reach the right leg high to the sky. Exhale, come forward into pigeon pose. Bring the outer right shin to the mat. Good, now drive the right shin down, drive the left shin down and lift your hips quite a bit. So be kind of bouncy here. Nice, so hands either to your hips or bend the back left leg and capture onto the foot. Now if you have the foot, walk the hand over the toes and hold onto the inner arch of the foot. Square your chest forward, but take the left shoulder further onto the back. Continue to drive the right shin down. See if you could wrap the hand now around your toes and press your heel towards your butt. We're still early in class, so if that's not working, it's okay. Good, undo that. Take the hands down, step back, downward facing dog. Take an inhale, reach the left leg high. Exhale, take outer left shin to the mat. Drive the left shin down, lift your hips. Broaden your shoulders. So hands can stay at the hips and you can stay here. Or bend the back right leg. Capture onto the foot. Hold onto the inner arch. Good. If you want to go deeper, wrap the palm around the toes and press your heel towards your butt. Try to square the chest forward. Continue to drive your left shin down. And breathe. Good, let go of your right foot. Take the hands down, step back, downward facing dog. Inhale, come forward into a plank pose. Exhale, lower all the way to the belly. Now bring your right arm into a cactus shape. Right elbow is parallel with the right shoulder. And then take your right ear to the mat. Roll open, try to stack your left shoulder and left hip on top of your right shoulder and your right hip. Maybe you bring the left palm open on the back, but feel that the front of the right shoulder continues to rotate back and in. And send the breath into the right side of the chest. Two more breaths. Good, roll back to the belly, and let's do the same pose on the opposite side. So take that left arm to a 45-degree angle, and then, oops. Oh, good, I didn't knock my water over, that's good. And then roll open. Stack right shoulder and right hip on top of left shoulder and left hip. One side might come up in your body a little bit differently, whether this side is tighter or looser. Maybe this side is a little uncomfortable. But whatever it is, just, honor this side for what's going on. Don't try to push it to be the other side for now. Maybe bring the right palm open on the back. And breathe. One more breath. Good, roll back onto your belly. Now from here, go ahead and bend both of your legs, capture onto the pinky toe sides of your feet. Squeeze your glutes, send your hips down into the floor. Let's take an inhale, kick through the feet, and rise up into bridge pose. And I want you to keep your feet and your knees hips distance apart, but really kick through the feet. Don't send the weight too far back, but try to keep some weight forward. Now listen carefully. You're going to get a little bit of motion of rocking side to side, and then you're going to roll to your left side, but keep your hands to your feet. Keep kicking through the feet. Don't let the right knee rise too far away from the left knee. Nice, roll back onto the belly and use that momentum just to come right to the next side. Squeeze your glutes, kick through the left foot, kick through the right foot. Continue to get the shoulders on the back. Nice, roll back onto your belly, clench your palms, tuck your toes, press up tabletop, and then all the way back into downward facing dog. From downward facing dog, take a massive inhale. Open mouth, release. Inhale, reach the right leg high. Exhale, step the right foot in between the hands. Bring the left knee down. Good. Drop your butt cheeks down, but lift the hip points up. Rise up into half crescent lunge. Now as you reach the arms, face the palms forward. Take an inhale, shrug the shoulders up to the ears. Exhale, cactus the elbows. Inhale, take your elbows back. Exhale, interlace your hands behind your back. Draw the shoulder blades back and down. Now as you do this, sink your hips forward and down. Try to drag your left knee forward and take the gaze up and back. Two more breaths. Keep lifting the chest like there's strings attached to the heart. Good, take your hands down and just step back, downward facing dog. Inhale, reach the left leg high. Exhale, step the left foot in between the hands, right knee down. Good. Lift the front rim of the pelvis up. Reach the hands above the head. Now as you face the palms forward, shrug the shoulders up to the ears, and then exhale, cactus the arms. Get the shoulder blades back and down. Inhale, draw the elbows wide. Exhale, interlace the hands behind the back, but bring the opposite pointer finger on top. Good. So as your hands reach back to your right heel, shoulder blades draw back and down, chest lifts, and the hips sink forward. Most importantly, breathe. One more breath. Good. Take your hands down and simply step back, downward facing dog. Inhale, come forward into a plank pose. Exhale, chaturanga. Upward facing dog or cobra. Exhale, press back onto your knees, and then walk your hands back to your knees. Come up to standing on the knees. So, engage the butt, send the glutes down, lift your hip points up. For this first one, keep the toes tucked. Take right hand to right heel, and reach the left hand back. Turn the chest open to the sky. The more that you turn the chest to the sky, the more you'll reach your left hand up and back. Good. On your exhale, use your abs to come all the way up. And let's switch sides. Take left hand to left heel, reach right arm by the ear, turn the chest open to the sky. Engage your abs, engage your glutes. Breathe. Good, and then exhale, come all the way up. From here, engage the glutes down, lift the hip points up, lean back, take your hands to your heels. Lift the chest nice and high to the sky. But don't let the head just fall back, but keep the chin pulling towards the chest, and then draw the ears back in line with the shoulders. Press down into the heels with your hands, and let that rebound up through the chest as you reach the heart to the sky. Good, and then exhale, come all the way up, untuck the toes, sit back onto the heels, face the palms down, close the eyes. And just take a few deep breaths. Feel the residual effects of doing chest openers and how it makes your body feel. I won't tell you what you should be feeling, but I want you to just kind of more overtly notice it for what it is in your body today. So let's go ahead and you might need to come to a wall, but if you have a block, that will be really helpful. Get your block. If you don't have a block, it's okay. You don't need a block. And I want you to take, if you're gonna do this at a wall and you're not experienced with it, that we're doing forearm stands, so you're gonna bring yourself to a wall. If you don't wanna do forearm stand, you can just stay in child's pose the whole time. So drop your forearms down to the floor. If you are using a block, take the L of the hand to the block. Really drive the forearms firmly down, and notice you can melt the chest. I actually want you to lift the space in between the shoulder blades up. Now tuck your toes, walk your feet forward towards your elbows. On your exhale, lift your right leg high, and just do a few little hops. So if you do get up, legs together, squeeze your glutes, continue to drive through the forearms. Press, press, press. If you're at the wall, you can bend the knees and just bring one foot to the wall, maybe the other foot. You're trying to look down between your forearms, and then whenever you're done with this pose, you're just going to come right into child's pose and settle right down into the pose. And when you are kicking up, if you're still working on it, remember that you gotta really, think of a cheerleader being tossed up in the air and really feel that the exhale propels you up by way of all of the muscles in the body. Nice. And then come to child's pose if you're not already there. Maybe rest your forehead on the block if you have one. And take a few deep breaths. So in order to get a really full, encompassing yoga practice, you don't always need to do tons of sun salutations and standing poses. Sometimes I like to just go deep but stay closer to the floor, and that's the intention with this practice. Nice. So go ahead and come all the way up from here, and we're gonna end this back bending practice with some stuff on the back, doing some back bends. So go ahead and lie down onto your back. Walk your heels nice and close towards your butt. Press the feet down into the floor. Now for a moment, just arch the lower back. So remember when we were in camel pose and I told you to tuck the butt down? That would essentially be the same movement now as grounding the lower back down into the floor. So I want you to feel that in your body. Ground the lower back down. Now keep that, engage your glutes, press through the heels, lift your hips up. Find extension through the chest as you reach your chest towards your chin and roll the shoulders under the back. Interlace the hands, coming into bridge pose, and your body should feel pretty warmed up for this space. So begin to refine it. Press the inner heels down. Continue to reach through the heart, but scoop the glutes towards the inner knees. Take 2 more breaths. Good. Send your hips all the way back down to the mat. Close the eyes and just soak in the feeling of doing that pose in your body. Good. Now from here, you can either do bridge pose again or plant the palms by the sides of the head. Engage your glutes. Lift your hips up. Rise to the top of the head. Go ahead and make sure your fingers are turning out a little bit. And then you're going to press through the hands and rise all the way up into wheel pose. Remember, try to wrap the triceps and the elbows back. Press through the inner heels. And breathe for 4 more breaths. And let this back bend be enjoyable. So if you're not fully enjoying this, perhaps decrease the intensity. 2 more breaths. Good, and then exhale, come all the way down. Take a moment, let your knees just fall in towards one another, and relax. Nice, so 1 more back bend, either bridge, wheel, or Viparita Dandasana. If you don't know what Viparita Dandasana is and you want to try it out, just watch me for a second. So, I'm lifting up into bridge, and then I come right into wheel pose. From wheel pose, I'm gonna set my head down onto the mat, take right forearm down, left forearm down, interlace the fingers, drive the forearms down, and slide the feet forward a bit. Now as I press through the feet forward, I drive through the forearms, and I press through the forearms. Good, so stay in whatever pose you're in for about 5 more breaths. In your Viparita Dandasana, if you're doing it, try to use about the same amount of energy that you used in wheel pose, maybe even less. So technically it's kind of a more sustainable pose. Good, and then when you're ready, come all the way down. Let's bring the bottoms of the feet together, the knees out wide. Take your hands to your lower belly. Take a massive inhale. Open mouth release. So one of the kind of genuine experiences of someone that does yoga consistently over a long period of time is this refinement in feeling how the nervous system reacts to putting yourself in different shapes. And so I just want you to notice what a back bend does for you. Does it feel kind of euphoric? Does it feel just aggravating, tiring? Does it feel expansive, energizing? What is the after effect of the pose? How do you feel now because you did that work? Good, take another big inhale. Open mouth, exhale, release. Very nice. Hug the knees into the chest, and let's go ahead and rock and roll all the way up. And we're just gonna close with some forward folds and some hip opening, hamstring opening, just to bring everything back into balance. So from here, stretch your legs out wide for Upavishta Konasana. Wide-legged forward fold. So as you flex the feet, take a big inhale, do one of those back bends. Now keep that extension in your spine. As you exhale, walk your hands forward. We haven't done a lot of work with this part of the body, so don't feel like you need to push it too hard. Slow the breath down. And remember what I was just saying a moment ago. How does that general kind of movement of extension in the spine and your hips affect your state of being mentally, emotionally, energetically? And how does this forward fold also affect your body, your mind, your nervous system? 2 more breaths. Good. Inhale, sit all the way up. And I want you to go ahead and bend your legs, stack your right shin on top of your left shin. So this is one of the poses that is often not done correctly. So you're gonna keep your right ankle over your left knee and left knee or right knee over left ankle. So 90-degree angles in your knees. Flex the feet, sit up nice and tall. And then on your exhale, go ahead and forward fold. As you fold, I want you to think that your pelvis is a bowl of water and you're trickling the water out of the front of the bowl. So in a back bend, it's the opposite. That's why I had you scoop your butt down, scoop your hip points up. Here, it's the opposite. But then, of course, as you settle into the pose, the spine is going to round in and soften more and more, turning this kind of sensory experience to a more introverted space. Nice. One more breath. Nice. Inhale, sit all the way up. Let's go ahead and switch the shin that's in front or on top. Flex the feet. Broaden the heart. Take a big inhale. Exhale, walk your hands forward to a space that feels appropriate for your body and just relax. For most people, forward folds are more soothing than back bends, but back bends are more energizing. That may not be the case for you, but that's kind of the general experience due to the fact that you're just rounding in. It's a little bit more sheltered, a little bit more calming. Good. On your next inhale, sit all the way up. Now I want you to lie down onto your back, and I am gonna come up to sit in front of the camera and talk to you. Okay, once you find yourself on your back, let's just end with 2 poses, and that will be a twist and a happy baby's pose. So plant your feet down onto the floor. Slide your hips about 2 inches off to the right side of the mat. Now I want you to cross your right knee over your left knee so that your inner thighs are together. You're seated like a proper lady or, femboy. Drop your knees up towards your chest, or draw your knees up towards your chest. Reach your right arm out to the right and exhale, guide the knees to the left for a supine twist. The reason why we scoot the hips a little bit off to the right to begin is because when they roll to the left, they'll be back in perfect center. Now I want you to notice perhaps if you feel a little bit of a stretch in your outer right thigh. Breathe into the length of the spine. So we've really brought the spine through most kind of planes of motion today, emphasizing extension and back bends. but we're also adding a little bit of flavor on top of that. So inhale, come back to center, unwind your legs, plant your feet down, slide your hips to the left, and then cross your left leg over your right leg. Draw your knees up to your chest, let your knees fall towards the right. Reach the left arm out towards the left at a slight diagonal towards the back of the room. And then breathe, but imagine that the breath is moving right into the organs. As we become more comfortable with this subtle, energetic shift in the body through the practice, we also become more aware of the fact that the body is always retaining some sort of emotional, mental awareness and energy. And so often we hold that stress and tension, if we have it, in the gut. So the more that you can just kind of wring the belly out here, the more that you can let the body and the nervous system relax into peace and harmony. One more breath. Good. Inhale, come back to center. Bring your hips back to the center of the mat and come into happy baby's pose. Grab onto the pinky toe sides of the feet, the inner arches, the ankles, the calves, and just rock around a little bit. Stretch one leg out and the other leg. Good, and then as you feel ready, hug your knees into your chest, round your forehead to your knees, squeeze all of the air out of the lungs, and stretch out into final Shavasana. Prop your chest open a bit by drawing the shoulder blades together and down the back. Let the toes roll out to the edges of the mat. Take a massive inhale into the belly. Open mouth, release. Inhale. Open mouth, release. One more inhale. And release. So I'm going to give you about a minute, like I've been doing in these practices, to just sit and listen to some calming music as you take these final moments in your practice, in your Shavasana. So I hope you really respect the resting part of this practice as valuable and important. And I will see you on the mat next time. Namaste, friends.